Hello and welcome to the first ever Psyched podcast. In this episode, we will predict WWE Summerslam 2019. Today, I'm joined by one of the founders of Psyched Out, Dylan or Mr. Chaotic,
Hello, hello.
and my brother, someone who might appear more on my channel and on this channel in the future, Alan or Alan Gaming and WWE.
What's up, guys?
Alright, so there's not much to say. I think we should just get into the predictions. SummerSlam it's only got 10 matches as we speak, um, based on Wikipedia, which is quite a surprise for WWE. I would have expected 12, 13 matches. But what we can hope for is a small amount of matches, but they are given time to each match. So let's just get on with it. Probably on a kickoff, Drew Gulak versus Oni Lorcan for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Now I'm not gonna say anything. I don't follow 205 Live, so I don't really have any idea what's going on here. Alan, do one of you have anything?
I think I'm probably the most experienced out of 205 Live, although I have been lacking in following it for a while. I feel like, though, I mean, Drew Gulak only won the title a couple of months ago, and I think it's a title run that was like in the running. He's deserved it, and I think. I mean, sure, Oni Lorcan, he's a challenge, and definitely he's a real threat, but I think it's a bit too early for Drew Gulak to lose the title as of now. So I think Drew Gulak's going to retain.
Yeah, just like you, I think it's too early for him to drop the title. So yeah, I think Drew Gulak is going to retain, but I hope that Oni Lorcan, I don't know, I want Oni Lorcan to win, but nah, it's too early for Drew Gulak to lose the title.
Well, I guess I'll follow the trend then. I guess I'll go for Drew Gulak. I've never really, I've watched Drew Gulak. I really like him, but not watched a lot of him recently, and I've never really watched Oni Lorcan. So we've got 3 votes for Drew Gulak.
That's right.
So the next match, Trish Stratus making her comeback to WWE, potentially her retirement match. And she is facing Charlotte Flair. So I believe this whole feud just started on Twitter or even on 205 Live. No, not on 205 Live, on Raw 100 or 1000, whatever the fuck it was. On I've got it here. On an episode of SmackDown, I believe, Flair was mad that she wasn't part of SummerSlam. And she had a match with Ember Moon, and if Charlotte won, then she would be part of a SmackDown Women's Championship match. However, that didn't happen for her. However, she declared herself as the greatest female superstar of all time and as the queen of all eras. Trish Stratus was a guest on Jerry Lawler's King Court the following Raw, I believe. Or no, it was actually SmackDown, the following SmackDown. And she was interrupted by Charlotte, who challenged her to a match at SummerSlam. And this past week, we saw they had a confrontation at the start of SmackDown, and Trish slapped Charlotte so hard that Charlotte smiled and walked out of the ring. So, who do we have for this and why?
There's there's a couple of ways I can see this going down. So it's in Trish Stratus's hometown of Toronto. So I could only really see her win if either A, it was like a feel good win for Toronto, or B, if they wanted to continue this feud for a couple months longer. But I could definitely see Charlotte winning. Just add another like record to her record book. Just to make her look, better. Uh, it's not like she had enough of those, but whatever. Um, so this is a tricky one, but I don't think she's gonna come back for one match. If she does, they better make this one good. But I'm gonna go with Trish Stratus actually winning over
Really?
Charlotte in Toronto. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna go out there, go big.
Wow, that's a bold move. Alan, what do you have?
I'm going with the Queen. Just the way WWE is building up Charlotte and like how they see her in WWE. I think they're gonna make Trish Stratus last match. Like like make Charlotte defeat Trish Stratus in her last match, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a sad like ending in Toronto. With Charlotte Flair being Trish Stratus. So yeah, I think that's going to be the ending for Trish Stratus in WWE.
Yeah, I think with another match on the card, uh, being Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler, this is pretty much very, very similar, except this just has more of a story to it. However, Charlotte Flair, just looking at what she's done over the last few years in WWE, I just don't see. I think Stratus I think they will feed Stratus to Charlotte just as one of their, just to show that she is like the greatest female superstar of all time or something, as that's what they're trying to push her just to push her as an advertiser as. Yeah, I mean Trish could win, surprise result. However, the chances of that, I'm not really sure. And obviously, since it's in Toronto as well, Charlotte winning could give her heat, which she needs. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Charlotte, to be honest. Now, before we get into the next match, remember to subscribe to Psyched Out, and subscribe to our individual channels, and subscribe to Alan. Every channel will be in the description. So go and drop us a like. We've all got different content. Dylan will start uploading soon, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But yeah, if you just like multiple genres of YouTube videos, then go and subscribe to all of us. So the next match that I was talking about, Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. So the story here being is that 2 weeks ago Ziggler was just like, or I know, on Miss TV, Shawn Michaels was I guess on Miss TV. He was interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, who insulted Shawn Michaels. The Miz then got into all of it. Ziggler attempted to attack Michaels. However, Ziggler instead hit The Miz. And then when Michaels was checking on The Miz, Ziggler performed a super kick or a sweet chin music on Michaels. The next week they had a contract signing on Monday Night Raw. However, The Miz revealed that their match would be at Raw after SummerSlam and not at SummerSlam. Then they made us all believe that it was gonna be Shawn Michaels against Dolph Ziggler, because it just why not? That would be a fantastic match. However, Shawn Michaels said it's not me, and Goldberg's music hit. And I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. I'm just gonna let one of you talk about it, because I don't know why Goldberg.
First of all, I really appreciate that you're narrating the backstory, because even I have no idea what's happened for the past few weeks. Like I have a slight idea, but that's it. I mean, I guess you could look at this like they're really trying to get the bad taste out of their mouth from what happened at Super Showdown. But like, so first of all, why would you name a pay-per-view like the exact same name of a pay-per-view that has no relation to it at all. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's just how that's that out of the way. But yeah, I okay. I think it's very possible that they're gonna make Goldberg try. They're gonna try and make Goldberg look good in this match. Maybe a quick squash match because again they did the same with Undertaker at Extreme Rules, right? He had like that little redemption match, just because that Super Showdown match just wow. Um, so my prediction is I think Goldberg's going to beat Dolph Ziggler in like 30 seconds.
I agree, but in a different way. I think Goldberg is gonna win because Dolph Ziggler will just get out of the ring and just go backstage. Like there will be no match. There will be a match, but like it's gonna end in a count out because Dolph Ziggler just gives up.
Yeah, I can see both of your
Yeah.
points. Uh, yeah, in terms of like sense, in terms of kayfabe, this has 10 seconds written all over it. But I don't know if they're using this to push Ziggler or not. It's a very tough one. I mean, obviously, it would make sense. Like, obviously, kayfabe makes sense to make Goldberg win. But I don't know. Politically, I don't know if they want Ziggler to get the massive, massive win that he's needed. But no, maybe just because of his Super Showdown match, I think they'll give it to Goldberg. They'll give him a good few win. And Ziggler will just I don't know what will happen to him after that. He's just a lost man right now in WWE. So yeah, it'll probably be a 10-second squash if that. Anyway, onto a better note, onto a much more positive match. AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. I am expecting a 4 to 5 star classic. If it's anything less than 4 stars, then it's a massive disappointment. So Ricochet won the title from Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. And then the following day he defeated AJ Styles, if I am correct. You can interrupt me if I say something wrong, but I believe he defeated AJ Styles for the United States Championship. Retained it. And then what was it? The following, I cannot remember what happened. Alan, do you remember?
I'm actually pretty lost.
Oh no.
Boy.
At Extreme Rules, AJ Styles defeated Ricochet to win the US title.
Yeah.
Oh, Stomping Grounds. That's where Ricochet won it. At Stomping Grounds. So AJ Styles defeated Ricochet for the US title. Due to the help of OC, who are incredible by the way. And then on the July 29th episode of Raw, Ricochet won a gauntlet match defeating Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Andrade. What a gauntlet match, by the way. Rey Mysterio really put up such a great show. Put him in the ring with anyone, and he will make it fantastic. And yeah, he earned himself the rematch. There's no more rematch clauses, so let's make people win contender matches. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess it's a good idea. But yeah, I'm expecting a fantastic match from this. What are you saying?
Okay, so here's my little analysis here. The club is finally reunited. They're being shown as a big deal. I'm pretty sure Gallows and Anderson, they won the Raw Tag Team titles recently, didn't they?
Yes. Fantastic.
Right. I'm thinking there's two possibilities here. Now, they could have Ricochet, win the US Championship, and I think at that point, AJ Styles could really go. There'd be no going down the lower for him. He'd be if he loses the US title, he's going for the Universal title, I think, because you can't have them, go down to the mid card after something like that. So
Yeah.
the two possibilities for me is either he retains because of the club again, or Ricochet wins back the title. And I think because SummerSlam's a big enough stage, Ricochet winning back the title is very possible. So I think what's going to happen is Ricochet is going to win the US Championship, and then AJ Styles might even go up to a Universal title spot.
Fair enough. Alan, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go with Ricochet. Just like you said, AJ Styles can't go to the Universal title picture. Uh, yeah, I think Ricochet just lost the title way too early to AJ Styles. Like he had the title for 1 month, I believe. So I think that they're just gonna continue the title reign with Ricochet, and AJ Styles will move on to the Universal Championship picture. So yeah.
Wow, I'm actually on the other. I'm actually picking AJ Styles here. I think you don't reunite the club if you're gonna make them lose the main title of the group after a month. Um, I think, yeah, especially with you cannot turn AJ Styles heel and make him lose the title like that. I think, I think you said that AJ Styles will win and he will move on to bigger things. I believe that is what will happen with Ricochet. He's already earned that, let's say, mid-table title. He could go for the Intercontinental title after SummerSlam. He could go for the WWE Championship. I mean, Ricochet versus Kofi or Randy Orton would be a fantastic match. Um, I'm just going for AJ Styles. I'm just too much of a fan of the club to have them, get buried by this one guy, who I love. I love Ricochet, but it's just I just don't see them burying the club just like that. So yeah, I'm saying AJ retains the title in a fantastic match. Now on to the best thing on the card. Don't at me. Finn Balor versus The Fiend. This has been building up for months since April. The Firefly Funhouse is incredible. The Fiend is fantastic. Bray Wyatt has played everything so well. So the story here is the episode of Raw after Extreme Rules. Finn Balor defeated Samoa Joe, and during his celebrations, his music cut off in a weird way. The lights shut down, and we had we didn't have silence, but it was just pitched up. It was just dark, and then the lights come back on, and we see a terrifying picture of the Fiend having Finn Balor in Sister Abigail. He gives him the Sister Abigail, and I am loving every second of this. Then the following week, or was it the following day actually? Finn Balor called out the Fiend and challenged him to a match at SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt accepted the match on behalf of the Fiend on the Firefly Funhouse. Then the following week, the Fiend attacked Mick Foley, while in the process taking the mandible claw from Mick Foley. I guess that is the reason why he attacked him. And then the following night, Finn Balor I believe it was the following night, Finn Balor had a match against Dolph Ziggler, in which the Fiend intervened, causing Finn Balor to be distracted, and then Finn Balor, obviously due to the distraction, lost the match. Then the following week, the Fiend attacked Kurt Angle with the mandible claw. And the SmackDown after that. What happened on the SmackDown? On a SmackDown. Oh yeah, we had an episode of Firefly Funhouse with with Husky Harris, or Husky's the Pig Boy, and also the previous weeks we had episodes with Mercy the Buzzard and Ramblin' Rabbit. So yeah, I think with the way they're building this up, with the way they've built up Bray Wyatt, the whole Fiend thing, this is a 5-second match, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, this is a 5-second match. They're making Bray Wyatt this monster, and Finn Balor is going away for 2 months after that. So yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, that's the news going around, isn't it? He's injured, or he's just taking a 2-month break, right? So, I mean, logically, it's pretty obvious that he's gonna go out on his back. He's gonna lose to the Fiend. It makes Bray Wyatt look good, and then Finn Balor has 2-month break. So yeah, I think Bray Wyatt's gonna beat.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt is definitely going to kill Finn Balor. I think the reason they didn't make Finn Balor the Demon is because they want Bray Wyatt to destroy Finn Balor, just like you said. So yeah, I'm going with Bray Wyatt. This is the match I'm the most interested in out of all at SummerSlam. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with Bray Wyatt. Hopefully, they're not going to ruin him. And yeah, just best of luck to this guy.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the Fiend's entrance will be. I'm also quite disappointed that NXT is using Unsainted by Slipknot, as that is what Bray Wyatt said he wanted to use. But let's just move on. So, the WWE Championship match. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Now I've put this quite low. However, this is not one of the main matches in my opinion. I'm not really the fan of Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. I just don't see it being a good match. But the story here is Randy Orton, I believe they had a 6-man tag team match or something after Extreme Rules. And Randy Orton RKO'd Kofi Kingston after their match. So then the week later, Kofi Kingston selected Randy Orton as his SummerSlam opponent. Then apparently Kofi referenced the feud in 2009 where he defeated Orton. And yeah, there was just a few, Randy Orton promos there and there. There's not much build up to this, to be honest. But what do you think?
Well, I mean, I heard a little while back that they were planning. Well, again, this is dirt sheets, and I mean, you know how trustworthy the dirt sheets are.
Yeah.
Not very. But they were talking about how Kofi Kingston's title run could end around SummerSlam, and it makes sense. I mean, Randy Orton's like a credible threat. There's a lot of story. There's 10 years. This is back. It started all the way back in 2009. Because so there is that bad blood there and whatnot. So there's the story. And it makes sense. Kofi Kingston has had quite like a 3-month run. It's been quite long. But I'm wondering if they're going to end it now. That's the bit that it gets me. It's
nowadays you just don't know whether Kofi loses or not.
Yeah, but I think because I mean, who else could he really lose it to at this point? I think I'm gonna make a big risk here, give me a big bet, but I think Randy Orton is actually going to beat Kofi Kingston here and become the new WWE champion.
Interesting.
I don't think Kofi is going to lose out at SummerSlam. I think he's going to lose the title in the next 2 to 3 months to someone like Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns. So yeah, I think Kofi is just going to have the last few months of the title. Randy, what is he going to do to Championship, really. What rivalries is he gonna do? So yeah, I think Kofi is just gonna retain, and yeah.
Yeah, I believe Randy Orton. I mean, Kofi Kingston is not a very young guy, but Randy Orton is already at a stage in his career where I believe he should be putting over other people. Um, yeah, his previous WWE Championship run it was a month long, and I was sick and tired of it after like 2 weeks. Because Randy Orton, like nowadays, he's just not someone I see as a WWE champion. It's just a bit boring. However, now he's a heel, so it could be a bit better. But I don't know. If we saw the side of Randy Orton that we saw last year against Jeff Hardy, where he was literally doing some sickening things to Hardy, then I would say yes, definitely give us that Orton as WWE champion. But now I just don't see it, to be honest. But yeah, Kofi's reign is very long. I see it ending very soon. But I don't know about SummerSlam. I'm not a fan of the idea of Randy Orton winning. So yeah, I think Kofi will retain. So now on to the probably maybe the most interesting, yeah, definitely probably the most interesting storyline of them all. For SummerSlam, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon 2.0. So it was after Extreme Rules. Kevin Owens got on the mic. It was right at the start of the show, and he started his pipe bomb about Shane McMahon and how like he doesn't deserve more TV time than superstars like Liv Morgan, etc. And how he's using being a McMahon to be on TV. Um, uh, Shane Shane has tried to ban Kevin Owens from SmackDown, but Owens would always show up and attack Shane during his match. During the Raw Union, Owens challenged Shane to a match at SummerSlam and said that he would quit the WWE if he were to lose. So, what's your thoughts on this? Is Kevin Owens going to quit, or is Shane McMahon going to lose his power potentially and lose all that TV time?
This is another tricky one because I don't see either situation happening. Like I really do hope that this, because I've been a really big fan. Again, like I said, I've been watching it much, just even catching glimpses of it, but not a big fan of the storyline. Maybe it's because I just think of it as like a rehash. It's not new.
Yeah.
But I guess I mean, I don't know. I just feel like putting Kevin Owens in this spot is a bit odd, because if I'm not mistaken, he was, a heel for a little bit before he turned back to babyface, and it was quite sudden as well.
Turned face from out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, oh, okay. But I mean, you know what it's like. If he loses and quits WWE, he's not actually going to quit WWE.
Yeah.
He'll come back in a month or so. But again, I don't think he's going to lose. I think it's just, it's to add tension. It's a risk for him to lose. So I think Kevin Owens is going to beat Shane McMahon.
I'm not gonna lie, this one was tough because just like you said, I can see it go both ways. I actually want Shane McMahon to win to keep this rivalry going. But nah, I think Kevin Owens is going to beat Shane McMahon and just going to go on to face Kofi Kingston for the WWE title because he is the only person I see that can defeat Kofi Kingston and be the new WWE champion. So yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. But I really do want Shane McMahon to win, just to keep the rivalry going.
No, you see, I'm against you once again. I think, and as you said, Dylan, and as both of you really said, it'd be a WWE thing for Owens to lose, but he's not actually left WWE. Um, this is why I see it going and going, maybe even until WrestleMania, which I don't want, but I can see it happening. Um, yeah, I'm just seeing Kevin Owens probably battering Shane in the ring, and then from out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre, Elias come out. They attack Kevin Owens. The referee either doesn't see it or like he's forced into allowing them to do it, and then they beat the fuck out of Kevin Owens, give him a coast to coast, a claymore, and yeah, he gets pinned, and then let's say in at Clash of Champions or whatever is next month, Kevin Owens returns and we continue the rivalry. Yeah, so yeah, I'm saying Shane McMahon only for storyline purposes. Now the next match, Bayley versus Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I am really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
So Bayley and Ember Moon had a tag team match against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, uh, in which they won. And they then had a promo, and Bayley selected Ember Moon to be her opponent at SummerSlam. Then the following week or 2 weeks later, I believe they had a tag team match again. However, this time Ember Moon, right at the end of it, Ember Moon attacked Bayley. Um, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. Two very good young wrestlers, um, who can put on a classic if we were in NXT, but sadly it's the main roster. But yeah, what do you think?
Uh, See, although I said I did have enthusiasm, that was a bit sarcastic. But I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to it. I'm
Yeah.
just, it was about, pun intended, it was a bit out of the blue. Um, but of course, it doesn't always have to mean it's a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
just there isn't much heat to this match.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from what I've seen, they're going down this kind of this 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 road of Bailey basically slowly turning into like a heel. Like she's doing, she's not as babyface anymore. Not as lovable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see her losing the title yet, even if it is SummerSlam. I mean, I think they'll have a good match for sure, but I think the results a bit, you know, you can see it coming, and I think Bailey's going to retain pretty, so it just seems a bit, predictable is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's a prediction
Yeah.
video we're doing here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was saying, Bailey is probably going to retain.
All right, Alan.
I'm just gonna say it. This rivalry was terrible. All right, the way they were booking Ember Moon, it's just sad. Like, what the hell was that last week? Actually, you made both Natalya and Ember look stupid because one,
Yeah,
Natalya
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing the submission outside the ring, and you just made Ember lose. Like, that makes no sense. Uh, but I do know that they're gonna have a great match at SummerSlam anyway. Uh, but I'm gonna go with Bailey because it feels like just someone hates Ember Moon backstage, and I think that's gonna affect the match, which will make Bailey retain the title. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bailey for this one.
Once again, I'm gonna go against you guys. I'm saying Ember Moon. I I I just love her too much. I think she's been booked so badly. I remember the Evolution pay per view where she should have won the Battle Royale to get a future championship match, but she got screwed over. I forgot who. I think it was Nia Jax who won it. She's just never really had that opportunity yet, and I think now is the time. It's her first championship match in WWE in over since joining the main roster, which is over a year now. So yeah, I just want Ember to win. The only way I would accept Bailey winning is if Sasha returned and either turned heel, or I don't know, she just came back and they done something. But I'm seeing Ember Moon winning this one, because I think she deserves it. And Bailey's been a bit meh as the champion. So on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch, the man, Seth Rollins' girlfriend, because we need to know that, versus Natalya in a submission match for the Raw Women's Championship. So Natalya, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella had a fatal four-way match, which Natalya won. Then they had a little promo where Natalya was like, "Yeah, I'm really excited. I'll be facing Becky Lynch," but Becky was being arrogant because she's a man. Natalya then just got pissed off for some reason. I can't remember why. It must have been on the episode of The Moment of Bliss. Alexa Bliss showed Natalya training with one of the WWE legends, and Becky attacked her and put the armbar on her. And then the following or later on in the night, Becky had a match, and I believe Natalya attacked her and gave her a sharpshooter. And that's just what's been happening for like the last 2 weeks on both Raw and SmackDown. Like Natalya even got disqualified or something out of anger by giving someone a sharpshooter. It's just, yeah, she's turned into a really. They're booking her hard, I think. So yeah, what's your thoughts about it?
First of all, guys, before we begin, did you know that Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are dating?
Really?
I mean, I didn't think you knew this. I mean, I wish WWE would tell me like 10 more times because I didn't realize. To get on the prediction, I mean, from what I heard, this feud sounds really tedious. It's just the same thing happening over and over again. There's the wild card because it's in Canada, it's in Toronto. It's a submission match. And the other thing is, I think Becky Lynch's title run's been quite forgettable. I don't think there's been much. It's just been her facing Lacey Evans for like over and over and over again. But I mean, I do think though Lynch is kind of a big draw. Like a lot of people are still talking about her, not as much anymore. She's dying off. But I think they're gonna keep this for a lot. They're gonna keep this going a little while longer. So I think Becky Lynch is gonna retain over Natalya.
All right, Alan.
The one thing that comes into my mind when I think about this match is Montreal's Screwjob. Like, this one was hard to predict too, because I can say go both ways. Number one, Montreal's Screwjob, and two, Natalya wins as a homecoming win or whatever. But since I predicted that Trish is going to lose at SummerSlam in her like home like country, I'm gonna go with Natalya for this one. But I think that Ronda Rousey is somehow going to come out and make Natalya win.
Wow. Ronda Rousey.
Like, I don't know how. Maybe
makes
the
sense.
ref.
I mean,
Like, I don't know how. I don't know how. Maybe the referee would be down, but I just think that they're gonna make Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch, like Hell in a Cell or Clash of Champions. I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense because Natalya is Ronda Rousey's best friend, kayfabe, and obviously Ronda Rousey got pinned by Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, but I'm gonna say, yeah, actually, just for the because every match that we've had a Canadian in, I said Trish is gonna lose, Kevin is gonna lose, and do we have any other Canadians? I don't think so. No. So yeah, I think just for empathy for Canada, I might just give it to Natalya. She won the title. She won a SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam in 2017. Um, and yeah, I think, yeah, as Dylan said, Becky Lynch is just she's not cool anymore. Like it was fun. It was good when like it was happening in 2018, but now it's just meh. It'll be a year since Becky turned heel on Charlotte, but yeah, I think I think we're gonna have Natalya winning. We need a new champion finally. And yeah, Becky. How long has Becky had the title for? Since
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, I mean, if you add it in total throughout the entire last 12 months, she's had it for like, fuck, I don't even know. She's had a title for at least like 9 or 10 months of the last 12 months. So I'm just, yeah, the only time she didn't have a title was January, February, and let's say September. So that's like 3 months. Like, we need something new. We need someone new. And Natalya needs a win. Like she gets booked badly at times, and I think it's finally her time. So the main event of this fairly short SummerSlam, not gonna lie. The main event: Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Why is this happening? So, at WrestleMania, Seth obviously defeated Brock Lesnar in a matter of minutes. Lesnar then won the Money in the Bank ladder match in a surprising way. He just inserted himself. He attacked Sami Zayn, or that's at least what we think. He attacked Sami Zayn. And then Brock Lesnar cashed in at Extreme Rules after Seth Rollins was tired and was battered by Baron Corbin. And yeah, it's just the same old rivalry as from before WrestleMania, except 2 weeks ago Brock Lesnar turned into a monster and just killed Seth Rollins' ribs. And when Seth Rollins was getting taken away by an ambulance, Brock stopped the ambulance and gave Seth Rollins an F5 into the stretcher thing, which looked there. And yeah, that made Brock Lesnar look like such a monster. That was probably the only good thing Brock Lesnar has done in years. So, what's your thoughts on this, and who do you think will win?
You know, I think the way, because as you said, Brock Lesnar was made to look like an absolute monster, just destroying Seth Rollins. I think this match is probably going to be like a face in peril versus this monster heel, because I mean, is Seth Rollins supposed to be injured still because of that attack?
Yeah,
I think
the previous week that we had, Seth Rollins came out like he could barely walk, and he still came to the ring with Brock Lesnar, and now Brock Lesnar killed him again. So yeah, Seth Rollins is meant to be injured.
I mean, because for me, whoever wins this, it's just a lose-lose scenario for the fans, because you've got Brock Lesnar, who's probably not going to show up again until like 6 months' time, and you've got Seth Rollins, who just came off like a very like meh title run.
Yeah.
So it's if honestly, the way that they've been booking this, I think it's possible we're going to see a squash match here. Just Brock Lesnar just destroying Seth Rollins again. In a couple of minutes. I think Seth Rollins is going to have time to fight back, but it's not going to be a long match. I don't think it's probably going to be another like shock value match. Like how we had in 2016 with Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So in my opinion, I think Brock Lesnar is just going to destroy Seth Rollins to retain.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first time I actually like Brock Lesnar way more than any of his challengers since actually his first Universal title win at WrestleMania 33. Uh, yeah, when he, yeah, like tons of people just turned on Seth Rollins because of all the Twitter stuff and how he is like cringy. And yeah, when Brock Lesnar turned into Aku and just killed Seth Rollins at Raw, it just put a smile on my face. Like I want his title reign to be longer now, shockingly. But I just think that they're gonna do a superhero kind of thing and just
Mm.
end SummerSlam with a happy ending. So I'll go with Seth Rollins.
I think I don't know. Uh, I'm just gonna straight up say I think Brock Lesnar is winning this one. You cannot make a man look like such a monster and then make him lose to a guy who's got no ribs. Um, Now I believe this will be similar to Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam 2014, where just Brock was squash. This was the longest squash match ever. It was like 20 minutes, and Brock Lesnar was just all over him. John Cena barely done anything, and I see that happening at SummerSlam. Um, making us feel sentimental towards Seth Rollins at the end, but they need to change something with him. His title reign started so well as well because his match against AJ Styles was fantastic,
It's
and
amazing, yeah.
then it just went downhill. Um, but yeah, I don't want it, but I think Brock Lesnar will keep the title until about WrestleMania, and then he's gonna lose it to the Fiend. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, these were our predictions for SummerSlam. What do you think will happen? Do you think there will be any shocks, any returns, anything special? And yeah, what did you think of our predictions? Comment in the Say in the comments below. So yeah, so don't remember to subscribe to Psyched Out, um, Mr. Chaotic, Alan Gaming and WWE, Zoepic, The Polish Gunner, and Psyched Out. um, and yeah, we'll be back with more podcasts in the near future. But right now, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Say goodbye.
We will see you later.
All
Goodbye.
right, yeah. Peace.